My name is Andy Hornby, photographer and vlogger. 17 years ago I started teaching myself photography. Today I travel the UK as a professional wedding photographer, landscape photographer and filmmaker. Learn from my experiences, my mistakes and my tips and advice. Hello and welcome to another video. Snapseed is an app that you get on your phone. Actually, it's been developed from a desktop app. I've been doing a bit of research because my last couple of videos have raised a few questions from you ladies and gentlemen, which is fine, and a few comments which I'm always happy to take. They've been very constructive, which is good, telling me to get a grip and have a look at the Snapseed app because apparently it's really good. And I've done a little bit of research. I've noted that it's been developed by Google from a desktop app that they had a while ago. It is, I think, now exclusively for mobile, but I could be wrong. I'm sure I'll get a comment down below if I am wrong. I've downloaded it. I'm going to be taking a picture tonight on my A7 III. I'm going to take that, put it on my phone, and I'm going to edit with Snapseed and Lightroom mobile and see which one I prefer, because I have to admit that my perception of what Snapseed is may have been slightly wrong. I was under the impression that it was a one-click app, you know, lots of presets, that kind of stuff, and it has got that, but it does have a full manual function for raw files. I may have been a bit overzealous in my last couple of videos, but I still stand by some, not most, some of the pictures that I've seen that technically weren't 100% in my mind, subjective view, just my opinion, have all been from the Snapseed apps, from taking a picture on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, putting it on the phone. I don't know whether it's just been well over processed. I'm going to concede that I may have been a bit over zealous in my last couple of videos, and I'm going to have a go myself just to see what it's all about. I may change my mind, so I'm going to take a couple of pictures tonight. I'm down at the shipwreck on another photo walk. I'm just in front of the crane. The sun is trying its best to come out between some clouds over the back there, and hopefully going to get some nice pictures. I'll take a few pictures on my A7 III, like I said. Now, they need to be converted into DNGs. From what I understand of Snapseed, it won't take any non-proprietary raw file images, so it needs to be converted anyway. So I have to go through Lightroom and be converted, but that's the only conversion I'm going to do. I'm going to convert it to DNG, put them on my phone, and I'm going to edit everything twice, once on Snapseed, once on Lightroom mobile, and see which I prefer and see what one comes out best. So to those people who may not have been that pleased about my last couple of videos, hopefully this will appease you, and I'm going to give an honest opinion. I am slightly biased, I have to admit that right now. I've been an Adobe user since I can remember. I don't know, Photoshop 2 or 3, something like that, a long time ago. I have used other software since then. I've used a lot of bits and pieces. I've never used Snapseed in its current format. I used Snapseed a while ago. I'm fairly certain when it was first developed it was more like a presets one-click app. I apologise for those people who have corrected me since that it's not that anymore. Fine, and I'm going to use it and see how it goes. Going to do this, going to get a few pictures, see which one I like best. Sun's about to pop its head out over there, so I'm going to run down the shipwreck. I'm going to get back to the computer later. I'll convert them to DNGs, and then we'll go from there. And hopefully in the next 5 minutes or so, I'll either be eating my own hat or telling you I still don't like Snapseed. Let's get on with this. I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
talk to you for hours, and we stay up all night. And when morning came, we'd make breakfast in bed. I don't know why I threw away what we had. What's wrong with me? I don't know why I threw it all away. Picture of you, a picture of you, a picture of you, a picture of you.
we're from a different star, flying over streets and our broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the leaves. Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we go and we run till the end and we run without shame. We own the game. And we holding the key, yeah, we're tired as can be. We're rolling, just like we please. Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. We're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we go and we run till the end and we run without shame. We own the game, and we ride on the flames till the morning light. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. Gonna let the world know.
Okay, Snapseed, right. Now before I start to give you my verdict, if you like, what I want to say initially is that I tried my hardest to be as objective with this app as possible when editing the picture, and I did the Snapseed edit first. I edited it as much as I could or would normally edit with the functions that it had. It didn't have as many functions as Lightroom has, so the edit is as best as I could have got it, and I don't want people to think that I tried not to edit it effectively compared to the Lightroom one. So I don't want people to think that I was being what's the word, under editing it on purpose, because that's not the case. You know, I did it as much as I possibly could, and I wanted people to understand that when I then edited the Lightroom version of the exact same image, that it was completely different look, and you'll see that from the two edits. I don't know, just I've used the Lightroom app before and I'm comfortable using it. Snapseed app, it was the first time I've used it, so it just, I don't know, people may think that it doesn't look that good because I didn't edit it as much as I probably should or could have, and that's not the case. I just want to put that out there now. So the Snapseed app versus the Lightroom app, they're both free. I don't want people to think that the Lightroom app is you have to pay for it, because you don't need to have Lightroom or the Adobe suite or the CC version of the Adobe stuff to get the mobile app. You don't. It's free, completely free. You can download it. You get all the same stuff, whether you've got the CC or the classic on your desktop or not. It's exactly the same app. You don't need to do anything different. I'll come back to that because I think it's very important that they're both free, and it would determine which one I would go for at the end of all these bits and pieces I'm about to tell you. So first of all, importing and exporting, the differences were massive. In fact, if you watch the edits, you'll see that I had to actually pause my screen capture on my phone because it was taking so long to import the raw image into Snapseed. I just couldn't wait around, and then by the time I imported, I had to actually fast forward the video too, so when you see it, it's actually a lot longer than what you see it, because I've actually paused the video and then speeded up the video you've just seen. It took like 2 minutes to import this video. I don't know whether it's because whether it was just my phone or anything, but then exporting took an age too. So exporting it into a JPEG, which shouldn't take long at all, actually took probably about 30 seconds, maybe slightly longer. So as you see in that video, is as it was exported. I didn't speed it up or slow it down. That's the time it took. Lightroom is instantaneous. I actually imported it from the Lightroom desktop app straight into Lightroom mobile, but actually importing it straight from my phone, if I had the picture on my phone and importing into Lightroom, didn't take long either. You didn't see that because I didn't record that, but it just took seconds. It doesn't take very long at all. And exporting from Lightroom took a matter of seconds. What you saw in the video is me exporting it, and I cut the video just at the point where you would see my phone after exporting. I didn't really see what was on my phone, so it is that quick, Lightroom. The next thing was the ease of use of the apps. I actually like the Snapseed app a little bit better than the Lightroom app for the ease of use. It is very easy to use, and when you select an option, you pretty much use your finger tactile left and right to increase or decrease the amount of effect you want to have. So whether it's the brightness or whether it's the sharpness, your tactile finger movement on your screen is actually really intuitive and really good. I really like that, and that's one thing about the app I did really like. The Lightroom app, although it's not difficult to use, when you select something, you have sliders like you do normally in the desktop app, but to select the slider itself compared to the slider either above or below it, it's actually quite difficult, and the finger tactile use of selecting it sometimes doesn't work. So you're often not trying to move your finger. You move it like you do with the Snapseed app, left and right, but you actually have to select it first, and to do that is very difficult. But with the Snapseed app, there's only one function that you're going to be affecting, so you just move left and right, and that's it done. You'll see from the two pictures that the crops are slightly different, and that's because I'm editing on a very small screen in portrait mode, so the actual physical size of the picture is very small, so it makes it really difficult to accurately crop and straighten and stuff like that. So that's the reasons why they're different, but I found no difference between the two. They were both quite difficult to crop and determine where the horizon line was, because my camera wasn't set up right when I took the picture. It's one of them things I just snapped away. Well, I found the biggest difference in the controls, where Lightroom actually has a lot more controls anyway. Snapseed is very limited in what you can do, and I don't mean that to sound funny for a basic app, and for someone who's potentially working with basic controls and only wants basic controls, is probably quite a good app. But with Lightroom, you often want a lot more. But I found the biggest difference within the selective, and I believe the selective part of the Snapseed app has only recently been added, or is very recent in compared to the age of the app itself. The selective part of it, you can't do a whole lot with it. You just point somewhere on the screen and it'll affect that area. You can't determine how much area it affects. It just affects the area as it is, and it only controls the brightness. With Lightroom, you can selectively use either a gradient filter or a radial filter, and select as much or as little as you like, and include all the functions of every control. So it's not just brightness. You can your contrast, sharpness, your white balance. You can affect anything selectively. You can't do that in the Snapseed app. It's very limited to just the brightness. So where you saw in the video, and if you haven't seen it, go back to what I did. I selectively I selected the ship and made that a little bit brighter, and then for a vignette effect, which I couldn't find, it might be in there, I don't know, I couldn't find it in the app. I actually used these selective points in the corners and just decreased the brightness, so it gave me that vignette effect. I don't know. I just see the Lightroom having a lot more control, maybe slightly more difficult to use, but not so much that I would be worried about it. I think the Lightroom app is far superior in terms of control of what you can do with the picture. And I'll leave that there. I mean, it's obviously a subjective view, it's my own opinion. And I know there's a lot of people who are avid Snapseed fans, I take it, but I just see Lightroom, when you compare it to Lightroom being free, quicker, and have more control over what you can do, I'd be inclined to go with Lightroom just on that alone. I wanted to talk about when I made the first part of this video. I was on a photo walk last night, and it was down at the shipwreck, and I was with a few attendees, and one of the ladies there was actually using her phone to take pictures, which is awesome. I've always said it's not about the kit you use, and you know from videos I've done in the past that I use my phone as well. And she sort of said, oh, I'll just quickly put this into Snapseed, and it just so happens she hasn't seen my videos from the last couple of weeks, and a few people who were on there turned around and looked at me, because obviously knew that I'd done these videos. And I sort of said to her, you know, what would you do? Open up the app and show me what you would do. So I actually recorded on my phone, which I'm going to overlay just there now, what actually happened. And as it happened, she'd taken a really nice picture. I love the picture. It was a good composition, good use of all the thirds, and she showed me that the one-click functions of Snapseed. Someone has mentioned on one of my last videos that Snapseed isn't a one-click app, and although it has these good individual controls, actually when you look at the screen that shows you all the options, a good half of those options are one-click sort of options. You can go on there and you can choose dramatic effects, you can use a vintage effect, and they're all one-click presets. And that's what this lady did. She had this picture up and she started showing me the HDR presets and the other presets. When I zoomed in and showed her the sky and what it had done to the sky and how it was ruining the picture, all of a sudden she's like, it's like her eyes had just opened up, and all of a sudden she's realised that actually maybe potentially as a photographer and an artist might not be the best option. When I did the videos before talking about Snapseed and saying, don't use Snapseed, it was all about the look and perception I have from looking at people's pictures when they've used Snapseed, and potentially that might have been misguided, because a lot of you guys and girls have said you use Snapseed, and someone even said that I've actually liked their picture and it's from a picture they've used Snapseed, and that's fine, and I get that. So potentially my perception of it was misguided, and I apologise for that. But I do think that a lot of the pictures that I've seen that I've thought or known to be used by Snapseed have probably been used in the way that it's like this one-click thing. These presets that Snapseed have, these HDR effects, all these dramatic effects that may look good to the layperson. A photographer's always going to look at that and go, do you know what? It just isn't right. And my idea of doing these videos was to help you, because that's what I want to do. I want to teach, and I want to get you to that next level. So potentially maybe my video may not or shouldn't have been, stop using Snapseed. Maybe it was start using Snapseed right, or potentially maybe make that leap up to something like Lightroom Mobile, which in my own opinion is better than Snapseed. I think although it may be slightly more difficult to use, it wouldn't be hard to get to grips with, and perception is very subjective, and when you look at images, my own perception is different to someone else's, but this whole thing is just about my opinion. I'm trying to help if I can, and I think with the amount of time it takes to do that one click, spend another 2 minutes and do a few more clicks and do it individually rather than doing these one click preset and ruining your pictures. Snapseed can be used well, and I want to come back to the two pictures now, because I did post on my group tonight hoping for some comments, and I did get some really good comments about the differences between the two pictures. And the Snapseed picture wasn't given as much nice comments as the image from Lightroom, and And I kind of agree, because the pictures, when I pixel peeped into the both these pictures together, I don't know what it was about the Snapseed picture, but after exporting to JPEG, the image seemed very soft and almost blurry. It was almost as if the shipwreck was out of focus. And I don't mean to sound funny, because when you use these pictures on mobile, you're using them probably for a social media platform like Instagram. It probably wouldn't matter so much, because they're going to be fairly small. People aren't going to be able to see, you know, the detail as much as you would if you're putting them on I don't know, a magazine, or in somewhere where you could really see the detail. The difference was actually quite astonishing. Although the pictures, they look different because the white balance is completely different in both pictures. You know, I've edited them separately so that the white balance it's not been the same, and I didn't want to make them look exactly the same, because I didn't want people to think that I'd falsified how I'd done these. But I don't know, there's something about the Snapseed picture that I don't like. If you look even on the video, if you go back on the video and look at the picture, you can see that the shipwreck seems almost out of focus, and the mast doesn't seem to have a defined edge to it, if you like. The ropes coming off the mast, they seem blurrier, they seem out of focus. And I know the contrast is massively different. Maybe I didn't put as much contrast in the Snapseed picture, I don't know. There's something about a Snapseed picture I don't like, and I don't think it's anything to do with the way I edited it. I think it's the way it's been exported, and that's my own personal opinion. Again, maybe if I edited another image differently, I might get a different result. I don't know. Maybe it's something you boys and girls can look at, you know, grab an image, take a RAW, take a JPEG, whatever, put it through Snapseed, download Lightroom if you haven't got it. The Lightroom mobile app is free. Again, I'll tell you, it's free. You don't pay for it. It's not part of the Adobe suite. Have a go. Import into Lightroom and edit from there. All the functions are along the bottom. You know, you've got selective functions, and then you can do everything you can do in the desktop app. Pretty much. It's more difficult when you're doing it with your fingers on your phone, obviously. It would be a good exercise for you anyway. I do want to mention actually that the funny thing is, I was sat on the sofa looking at both these images, and Samantha, my girlfriend, was looking at them, and she kind of said, the first image, which was actually a Lightroom image on the workshop group when I posted it up, she did mention that looked more like the kind of edit that I would do. And funnily enough, it is, you know, because I use the Lightroom app quite a bit. It's mainly when I do stuff on my phone. I don't generally take a RAW file from the camera and put it on my phone. I don't see the need to do that. But if I do a picture on my phone, I do use the Lightroom app to edit my phone images. So, you know, it kind of makes sense. First image, the Lightroom image, is the kind of image that I would do. So she kind of guessed it from that. I know a lot of people on my workshop group said similar things, but tend to like the Lightroom one the most. Sorry. So let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, please whack a thumbs up. I'm always going to be interested in the comments. I know some of these videos recently have been upsetting a few people because it's not been what people have been expecting to be coming from me, but I'm trying to help, and I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes, but that's all it's down to, is me just trying to help. Maybe I shouldn't have been so straightforward in saying stop using Snapseed. Maybe I should have been a bit more diplomatic about it, but you know, that's what these videos are there to do, to help, hopefully. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get updates every time I upload a new video. I'm going to be doing an editing video soon on my Patreon, so if you're interested in how I edit stuff using Lightroom and Photoshop, please don't be afraid to pop across to my Patreon. Wait around and you'll see at the end I talk about my Patreon. Okay, so I'm wrapping this up. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you on another one soon. I've not upset anyone else on this video, hopefully. And yeah, take it easy. See you soon. Bye. You're still here. Nice. It's good that you're still here, because I want to tell you a little something. Those people who are avid followers of me, I want to give a little something back, and to do that, it means working alongside you online, because a lot of you can't make it to my workshop. So I've just set up a Patreon account. It is patreon.com/Andy Hornby Photos. So Patreon is a platform where we can create stuff together, even if you're halfway across the the globe, and I can learn and teach alongside you, literally alongside you. There's so many things I can do to help you get your photography just to that next level. It is awesome. If you can make it to one of my workshops, I've got a website. Go to ahphotographyworkshops.uk and have a look, see what I've got going on. But if you can't make it to one of my workshops, Patreon is a really good platform where we can create stuff together and we can take your photography to another level. So if you like what I'm doing and you want me to learn alongside yourself, see you there. Take it easy, have a good day. Bye.